Hey, what is up guys? Guitar Rock here. Welcome back to another Blue Archive video. Now if you guys are not aware, we have a quick anniversary pre-registration announcement today. So I'll talk more detail about the anniversary stuff in a separate video, because this video I want to focus more about a couple of things that's happening upcoming, right, in terms of the banner comparisons. Because I know a lot of you guys are deciding if you're going to be pulling for the limited characters Toki Nagisa, or you're going to be saving a little bit later to try to basically obtain the character right here. Ben Kazusa, Ben Yoshimi, these two are limited. Alongside with that, Akko is going to be available. Now this is going to be a very tough one for a lot of you guys. And I get it, right? Because like, these are all limited characters. Literally, we are having limited students back to back. So Nagisa is going to be a character that is coming first, and I'm going to try a bit more to focus on her because she's a very strong character, and I feel like every single account definitely benefits from getting her. Now, if you can only pick one though, Akko is also something that a lot of players are looking for, and I know that she is still known as one of the best supporter alongside with Himari, right? And definitely if you don't have Nuya Fuuka, I can see her value significantly in your account definitely is going to be extremely beneficial. Now, obviously, I'm going to help you guys decide. First things first, if you guys are going to pull, or if you guys want me to do viewer pulls, I have a bunch of you guys queued up on my Discord. You know, go over to the queue if you guys are interested to join for viewer pools, right? That's going to be something that join the Discord if you guys are interested to join the Blue Archive community, or you know, just hang out with the others in the community and ask for general advice. This video is brought to you by Tokyo Treat and Sakura Co. Now for those of you who are new to the channel, Tokyo Treat and Sakura Co is a monthly Japanese snack box, and inside of it will contain limited Japanese snack items that is handpicked to cater to that month's theme. Now for Tokyo Treat, since we are at the month of October, we're going to have the theme of Snacktastic Halloween, and this month's Tokyo Treat box is going to come with the experience of Japan's spooky season with fun and wacky snacks. You're going to have plenty of Halloween themed treats and unique flavors. Now some of it includes the Kit Kat apple pie, the spooky spicy crackers, the ghost gummies, Halloween fruit juice potion, and of course many more. Now Sakura Co is a monthly Japanese artisan snack box, and it includes traditional, authentic and artisan Japanese snacks, and also comes with a special Japanese tableware. Now for this month's Sakura Co theme, it's going to be colors of Kyoto. Since it's autumn this month, enjoy authentic treats and specialty fall flavors that capture the essence of Kyoto's autumn beauty and its timeless traditions. Now the snack highlights for this particular month includes Kyoto Arare, Kitsune Senbei, the Yuzu Dorayaki, the Matcha Chocolate Crunch, and of course many more. And it all pairs perfectly with the special Jio Sujiri Sencha from Kyoto. This month's tableware item is the Floral Kamon Yumoni, a Japanese tea cup. Now if you guys are interested to purchase either the Tokyo Treat box or the Sakura Co box, feel free to use my referral link and use code GUITARROCK for $5 off. With that being said, let's jump into the video. Now, first things first, Nagisa is going to come after this next week, Tuesday. As you can see, her banner is going to be on 15th of this month, October. Alright, so that's going to be happening for 1 week straight, 15th to 22nd. We have Nagisa, we have Toki. These two are going to be a limited banner character, a unique banner. And then we're going to have Koyuki as well. She is a standard banner character, so not too worried about her. So we are going to compare her directly with Akko, because I think that's going to be like where a lot of players are going to make their decision based upon. Conveniently, I do have both of these characters pretty much maxed out, because these two are pretty much meta characters. So yeah, comparing between one of the strongest, in this case AoE special type student, versus one of the best supporter in the game, Akko, right? So here's the truth, right? If you already got Akko, obviously straightforward, Nagisa is going to be a very, very good pick. Now this is for you, for any players out there who still do not have any of this character and you can only pick one. Now, if you are getting both, good. Alright, that's going to be something that I do encourage. If you can afford to get both, definitely these two are very strong characters. Now, if you can afford to only get one, hopefully in this video, I'll help you guys make a better decision. First things first, let's talk about where they both shine, right? Nagisa is going to be an AoE DPS character. Now she's going to be very, very unique. She has a big AoE for 3 costs. She does insane amount of damage, 700+%, and she also decreases defense in an AoE for 40%. Alright, that's a really, really high defense reduction right there. If the target's defense type is light armor. That means if it's a raid type, right? So that is going to be very unique. She shines in particular against raid bosses, right? So that's going to be where Gregorius is going to be one of the few. And then we also have Hieronymus, and we also have Chiton in particular. So those three, you will definitely almost always use Nagisa. She's just irreplaceable. She's extremely strong. Now her basic skill is where she basically just heals one ally, lowest HP every 50 seconds. Now if you're a Trinity school student, you get even more healing. Enhanced skill basically increase her crit damage and also increase attack. And last but not least, the sub skill is quite unique as well. It's going to increase crit damage of all explosive type allies by 24%. Now notice it only benefits the explosive type allies. Now when you compare her with Akko, Akko also has that similar sub skill, but Akko sub skill is more generalized, right? It's going to work on every student, increase crit damage by 17.3%. However, the value is a little bit less. Now Akko is going to be a crit rate, crit damage supporter. Alright, she is going to be a very strong character in that sense. She gives almost 40% crit rate and 73% crit damage. Basic skill, she also does something similar, heal a little bit with ally with the lowest HP. Now first things first, who is going to be the better character, right? I feel like this is going to be a toss up between these two. I really think that they are really even. Alright, both Akko and Nagisa is going to be really close to the point that I feel like you won't regret getting either one of these, right? There's no like bad decision right here, but it's just going to be which one is going to be better for you depending on what you want to tackle. So I think comparing Nagisa versus Akko is a little bit disingenuous because Nagisa, number one, is a limited character. So what does that mean? So if you don't get Nagisa during this period from 15th of October till 22nd of October, the next time you can recruit her again is going to be next year. Alright, so Nagisa is a limited character. You can see right here from this mark. This is going to be a unique banner. So you can never obtain Nagisa until one whole year. So I know for a lot of players, that's going to be something that's like a big turn off. Getting her is going to be a no-brainer. Akko, however, on the other hand, in this case, she is going to be a standard banner character. But Akko is going to share her banner with two limited characters as well. In this case, it's going to be Ben Kazusa and Ben Yoshimi. Now, Ben Kazusa and Ben Yoshimi is going to be students that are much more centered around the Fury of Set. Now, I know that's going to be not something that a lot of players want to focus on because Fury of Set doesn't really give you much in return. Alright, so you don't really get much gem, you don't really get pyroxenes back from that content, you don't really get any sort of tickets from that content. So that content is pretty much like something for an end game player to try to, you know, it's just something extra for you to do, additional content, and it's not something that new players want to focus on. And generally, when I'm making this kind of video, I'm targeting mostly newer players, right? So Akko versus Nagisa makes a lot of sense. Now, if you are somewhat like a advanced player, and if you don't have Akko as well, this banner is probably going to give you more value, alright? Because I feel like when you're pulling for Akko, you are most likely going to be able to spook alongside with that, right? Because like going all the way to PT, you will most likely get either one Ben Kazusa or Ben Yoshimi, unless your luck is just extremely terrible, which can happen sometimes, I get it. But in general, we're just looking about on average, right? I feel like you should be able to get at least two characters if you have to go all the way to PT to 200. If you're lucky, you will be able to get all three, Ben Kazusa, Ben Yoshimi, and Akko. So that's going to be where the value shines. Now, how about Nagisa's banner, right? Nagisa is currently sharing the banner with Toki. Toki is also another limited character. Now, I'll be straightforward honest with you guys. Toki is a character that I personally have built, and I have never actually used her much. I think I've only pretty much used her once, and that was like in a joint firing drill. I've never used her in any total assault. I've never used her in any grand assault because like being an explosive character, she's just a much more niche character, and she just doesn't provide much in terms of, I wouldn't say that she's useless, her damage is alright actually, but it's just there's way better characters that can do what she can provide better, or in terms of specialized. If you're looking for AoE, you have Musuki, you have Aru. If you're looking for single target, now we have Dressina. So having Toki is just kind of a weird middle ground. It's useful for players who don't have any of those characters that I mentioned, but a lot of players probably have those characters built pretty much, right? And also Azusa is kind of free for single target as well. So you have all of these like other explosive characters that she's directly competing against, which makes her like a hard recommend. Even if you get her, maybe just, you know, chill and save your resources a little bit and consider investing in Nagisa instead. Now the other character in Toki's banner is going to be, in this case, Koyuki. Now Koyuki is also that character that's like kind of in the middle ground, right? She's not like in top tier, she's not like a must-have, but she's not bad either, right? If you get her, I think it's fine. You can use her in some situations here and there. She's much more niche in terms of her usage. She has a very unique skill that basically gives you different thing, or give you different like random bomb that does different effects. So it is going to be something that's like very unique in that sense. Now for 4 cost though, there's a lot of other mystic type character that can probably do almost, or if not better than her, right? If you have like Chisei and stuff, probably those invested is going to make more sense. So now let's talk about where Ako and Nagisa is going to shine in particular. So Nagisa is going to shine in story. So if you are struggling in story, I feel like Nagisa is going to shine a lot. She's a very, very strong character right there. Now in a lot of challenge events as well, she is going to be extremely useful. I use her almost all the time in those situations. Now in any of the raid bosses that I mentioned, particularly is going to be Hieronymus, Kaiten, and Gregorius. This is where she's going to shine, right? So you can also use her occasionally in some of the Grand Assault as well. For example, Perorozilla Grand Assault, if it's a raid element, you can definitely use her right there. So Nagisa is going to excel right here in this situation. Now Ako is a support. She's generally, you're not going to use Ako in story, for example, right? So because she is a support, ideally in story is going to be much more of a waste, and also like you are probably going to use her more in raids or in drill. So this is going to be where she's going to shine more. Now let's talk about their competition or their competitor to give you guys a better angle or better comparison with. If you are looking to pull for Nagisa or Ako, at least you gotta look at what are the alternatives for them, right? If you don't have Nagisa, who can you use in her place? If you don't have Ako, who can you use in her place? So for Nagisa, straight up, the main competitor or the main alternative for her is going to be Hibiki. Now Hibiki is going to be pretty much competing with Nagisa. In my humble opinion, Nagisa is a Hibiki upgrade. I think Nagisa is better because this is where Nagisa really shines, right? The ability to straight up reduce 40% defense. This is really good. Hibiki doesn't have that, alright? In terms of damage, sure, if you're looking for them as a damage dealer, Hibiki's damage is about the same. She also have coverage of the same area. Multiplier is a little bit low. But Hibiki is a little bit more expensive. She's a 4 cost, Nagisa is a 3 cost, right? Now this might not be that big of a deal if you just look at them from a face value, right? But during battle, you can actually feel like that 1 cost is gonna make the rotation much more smoother, and then you're gonna like be able to like put in more DPS at the same time. And also, right, I mean, the defense reduction is a lot, right? If you have Dress Hina, your Dress Hina now is going to soar in damage, right? She is going to be reducing enemies' defense by 40% is insane, alright? So it's invaluable, especially if you have a very strong Dress Hina. So that's something that you have to consider as well. Everything else is pretty much, you know, it's pretty much meh. But Hibiki is probably going to be the closest competition to Nagisa. Now, if you already have a very stacked Hibiki, UE50 and stuff, getting a Nagisa is going to be an upgrade for sure, right? But it's just like the value won't be as much as you not owning a Hibiki, right? If you don't have a Hibiki and you get a Nagisa straight up, the value is going to be really high, right? But if you already have her build, upgrading to a Nagisa, that step up seems a little bit might be something that you gotta think about, right? I wouldn't say like it's a bad upgrade. It's still a very good upgrade in my humble opinion, but it might not be something that you want to go for if you don't have Ako, which is where we're going to talk a little bit about Ako's alternatives. So how about Ako, right? What is her alternatives for her? So Ako, her main alternative that she competes against is going to be Himari. Now I know she's going to have a different kind of buff than Himari. Himari is going to be attack buff, Ako is going to be crit rate and crit damage. I get that, right? But Himari is also going to be a buffer. So if you have Himari, you don't really need Ako as much. Now ideally you're going to use them both together. That's fine, alright? But one more character is New Year Fuuka, which is again straight up, this is going to be the competition for Ako, right? New Year Fuuka is going to be that character that can be used to replace Ako in a loss situation. If you have New Year Fuuka, you know, getting Ako, the value is not going to be that high. Alright, so again, she is going to be one of the more recent units. I think a couple of months ago. Now, if you guys did obtain her, getting Akko is not going to be that much needed, to be honest, right? So that's one thing to consider. Another one that I think a lot of players overlook is going to be on striker slot. This character right here, Dress Aru. So Dress Aru is also going to be a standard banner character, right? Now, I know that, not going to be same. This is going to be a striker slot. Akko is going to be a, special slot. But, in terms of crit damage, she is going to provide you that. Akko, in my opinion, is still better because she also gives crit rate. But, crit damage is something that in most cases is going to be more than enough, especially if you have T9 gears. So what you gotta do is you just gotta reset. Alright, just gotta like redo the raid runs until you maul your crit, right? Until you are like, it's a little bit of a hassle, ideally, but you know what? At the same time, if you gotta weigh the option, you gotta decide between these two. This is going to be how, ideally for me, the best way for you to look at your account and see who you're lacking and see from there, right? If you don't have Hibiki, Nagisa, very, very good option. Now, if you don't have Himari, you don't have Nier Fuuka, then Akko, very, very good option. Very, very good support. And also, do take into consideration the Fury of Set as well. So that one I think is up to you. I think some players don't really care about that. Some players care about that. So I'll leave that up to you. So I do think that for me personally, I'm definitely going to pull for Ben Kazusa and Yoshimi. These two are going to be extremely strong, broken characters for Fury of Set. So that's going to be something that you gotta like also take into consideration, I guess. But for new players, yeah, it is something that you have to prepare in advance. By the way, these two characters, again, same concept. If you miss out on them, you are pretty much missing out on limited character, and the only next time that you can obtain them is going to be next year. Actually, I have no idea because JP hasn't rerun yet, so don't quote me on that, right? But for now, I think this is going to be a very, very good comparison, and I hope that you guys just think carefully, right? Regardless of which character you decide to pull, I think both students are really, really strong, and you're not going to regret regardless, alright? If you get Nagisa, you decide to get her, and you build her, she's insane, alright? Trust me, as someone that has her max at UE50, she is insane. Alright, but you gotta pour more investment into her compared to Akko. Akko, you can get away with just UE30, you can see for mine, but ideally you want to focus on maxing Akko's skill. Gears matters less for Akko. Nagisa, probably like you want to like, you want her to be able to do more as well, generally, right? So that's going to be something to also factor in. Alright, so with that being said, that is pretty much it for this particular video. I hope I can give you guys a better idea on who is going to be a better fit for your account. Now, if you guys find this video helpful, feel free to give this video a like, subscribe if you guys haven't already. I'll be making more Blue Archive content as we go. I'll have one more video coming later today. That's going to be for the roadmap as well, since we have an official one from next on, right? So yeah, take care. Make sure you guys stay safe, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Have a nice day. Goodbye.